No touching. Good, good, good. I've given you 3 questions, 2 questions. How many questions? Or no questions? Any homework did I give?
No, sir. You tell only that, write only that topic.
We are almost closing the chapters for your exams. Am I correct?
Sir,
हाँ बोल.
सर हम लोग का स्कूल में डायरेक्ट अभी 10th चैप्टर पढ़ा है.
डायरेक्ट 10th चैप्टर स्टार्ट किया क्यों?
हाँ.
पॉवर्टी लाइन हो भी गया.
Poverty वाला.
But listen, we are with the chapter called primary sector agriculture. Correct है ना?
Yes. हाँ.
After that chapter, how many more chapters you want me to complete? 2 chapters or only 1?
Sir, wait.
Only one. You told me secondary.
Sir, yes. Can I tell the second term?
Secondary यही है. It's only the primary sector we are going to do.
सर हमको एग्जाम में प्राइमरी सेक्टर भी, सेकेंडरी सेक्टर भी और टर्शियरी सेक्टर भी है.
और पॉवर्टी लाइन इन इंडिया भी.
अच्छा, only this is the last chapter for your exam, correct?
Yes.
So after this, what do you want me to do?
So secondary sector.
ठीक है. Now tell me in primary sector what was the last heading I was doing?
Sir,
wait, I'll tell you. I remember. Primary sector, I think we have done up till problems of Indian agriculture, correct?
हाँ.
अभी government measures to improve agricultural production. वही heading है ना? Please put that heading in your notebook. Government measures to improve agricultural production. Then let's see how many points I am going to explain and how many points are going to be used. I am reading the points for you. Like last lecture, you tell me whether that points is some. Okay? Subheading. Land reforms.
Yes.
Under that, we have 1 abolition of intermediaries.
Yes.
Tenancy reforms.
Yes.
Ceiling on land holdings.
Yes.
Consolidation of holdings.
Yes.
Cooperative farming.
Yes.
एक काम करो, पहले ये हेडिंग डाल दो because it takes a lot of time to explain. पहले सिर्फ land reforms डालना.
हाँ sir.
Put the heading in your notebook, land reforms. And write the first line for that. Soon after independence. There was an urgent need. Soon after independence, there was an urgent need for land reforms.
Yes, sir.
Soon after independence, there was an urgent need for land reforms since both agriculture and farmers
Yes, sir.
situation was very bad.
Situation
Was
very bad. Bad. The main land reforms introduced were Okay, now you stop writing. Now you tell me India after independence and India today. You find the difference?
Yes.
Because Britishers have ruled over India for close to 200 years.
Yes.
So what did they did? They destroyed the Indian lifestyle. They destroyed the farmer. They destroyed the industry. They even destroyed the trade and business. Normally, people say Britishers have made India a more dependent. You understand dependent?
Yes.
Everything they made farmers to believe that without the support of British, you are nothing. Now it is the first independent government of India. Who was the Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister of India?
Nehru ji.
So it was a major challenge or a task in front of the government how to fulfill the demands of the farmers, the population, as well as to improve the agriculture. Correct? अभी क्या हुआ? After independence, we had a serious trouble of partition. You remember? India and Pakistan got partition.
Yes.
Independence Day of Pakistan, you remember? Which day? They celebrate one day before. They celebrate 14th August and we celebrate 15th August. Okay, Tanish, abhi muh mat ko. Abhi to lecture start hua. Kya hai? Now only he is showing the signals of excitement. So I say these land were not properly, utilized. The Britishers were only making the farmers to pay the taxes.
Yes.
Did they bring any reforms for the farmers?
No.
Did they bring any agricultural help to the farmers?
No.
So on one side, human population was very high. And other side, cattle population was also very high. But the problem was both people were dying. Both human beings were also dying. Cattle were also dying. Dying without what? Without food. Correct? Reforms का मतलब क्या है? Now we have to bring some reforms due to which farmers feel that zamindari has gone. Correct? You understand what is zamindari?
Yes.
The kings are gone. Now it is the people are the owner of their own land. I say you are the owner of the land, so automatically there is some एक feeling आता है. Whatever I do, it is for me only. But if you are working on other farms' land, मतलब you two are working on my farm, will you have the belonging for a hard work?
No.
But I say both the land belongs to Tanish and Arya. दोनों तुम्हारा है. बोलेगा वाह, whatever hard work I do, देखो कितना हंसते हुए चेहरा दिखा रहा है. तनिष को क्या हो गया टेंशन में? Give me a smile, man, and that's enough. So when I'm saying once that ownership comes into your mind, automatically you will do a hard work. Why you will do hard work? Either profit or loss, it is for you.
Yes.
Government will not take you. Correct? So the first and the most important thing the government wanted was to abolish the intermediaries. Now, how do you understand the intermediaries? I mean, you want to approach to the principal of your school, take example. But you cannot directly go and see the principal. You need either a teacher or a office assistant or some other person. So whatever message you want to give it to the principal, you need to give it to whom? The intermediary. Have you samjha who is intermediary? In between. Now what did the Britishers do? They kept zamindars, landlords as their intermediary. What did they do? Zamindar को बोलते थे कि taxes आप collect करो farmer से and keep 1/3. You understand 1/3?
Yes.
For you and the rest you give it to us. The zamindars were only working to collect the revenue, keep 1/3 for them and give the rest to whom?
British.
To the Britishers. Don't you think this intermediary is good or bad?
Bad.
Why bad? because he is not going to work.
Yes.
He is just going to sit idle. हाँ काम हो गया, कितना प्रॉफिट है उसका मैं खाया. अभी गवर्नमेंट ने क्या बोला, नो इंटरमीडिएट, द फार्मर्स कैन डायरेक्टली टॉक टू द गवर्नमेंट.
Yes.
Whatever they wanted, they can directly tell to the prime minister. And prime minister, whatever steps he takes, it is to the farmers. There is no in between person. Samjha?
Yes.
This is what we are saying. The intermediates were removed. And next to that, the second reforms that they have given it in the textbook. Under that only tenancy reforms. I didn't bring the marker. I'll get it now. If I want to explain the word tenant, suna tenant?
No.
He is a person who is working on other farm, and he is not the owner. I think in economics, in future, maybe in 10th, you will be studying something called as marginal farmer. Who is a marginal farmer, sir? He might not be having a land of his own. And even if he has land, half an acre bhi nahi rahega. Can he fulfill his own hunger by cultivating in half an acre? No. So he will work on whose farm? Zamindar's farm, landlord's farm, or a rich person's farm.
Yes.
I mean, what did the government said? The tenants, if they work, you need to give them in cash. पहला ऐसा cash नहीं मिलता था. Whatever produce आता था, उसका एक थोड़ा सा बोल देता था farmer को ये लेके जा. तो काम किया है ना? You take some rice, you take some wheat. But do you think only rice and wheat is the only requirement he has?
No.
Milk, he might be buying bread, butter, whatever. Not today. I'm saying those days. So government said now the special reforms are for the marginal farmers. अभी इसमें एक program नहीं दिखा है, मैं बोलता हूँ. You just listen, you'll understand. The program was land to the tiller. You know tiller, the person who works on that farm. अभी Tanish and Arya are working on my farm, and both are working for last 6 months. An example. But I am saying I am the owner. Tanish जाके आर्या से बोलता है, ये सर है ना बहुत दादागिरी करता है यार, पूरा काम तो हम करता है और ये खुद आके लेके चले जाते हैं. तो आर्या बोलता है जाना अपना सर. तनिष बोलता नहीं, वो लैंड अपना नाम पे कैसे कर देगा. नहीं ऐसा नहीं करने. तनिष बोले लगे यू डोंट वरी, मैं हूँ तेरे पीछे. तो लोग दोनों जाके गवर्नमेंट से बात करते हैं. तो गवर्नमेंट क्या बोलेगा, हाउ लॉन्ग यू आर वर्किंग. आर्या एंड तनिष बोलते हैं हम लोग 1 साल से काम कर रहा है, वही फार्म में काम कर. समझा. एंड दे नीड सम प्रूफ. अभी अटेंडेंस शीट या बायोमेट्रिक जैसा अपना सर ने रखा वो तो नहीं है, बट एटलीस्ट दे टेल कि फॉर लास्ट यहाँ से हम लोग यहाँ तक काम कर. तो गवर्नमेंट क्या बोलेगा, इफ यू आर वर्किंग फॉर 6 to 8 months, you can be the owner of that land. अभी समझा, ओनर ऑफ द लैंड. इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे, लैंड टू द, कम से लैंड टू दी
And to the
टिलर. तो आर्या एंड तनिष विल बी वेरी हैप्पी. आज तक तो अलगेश के नाम पे जमीन था, अभी हमारे नाम पे जमीन होगी. समझा. आर्या is so quickly happy. Don't worry, don't. Tanish, don't write, just listen. The next reform they have said ceiling on land holdings. Is it the third point?
yes.
Now who can tell me the meaning of the word ceiling? Simple meaning. Ceiling का मतलब क्या है?
वो ले लिया जबरदस्ती.
Correct. अभी मेरे पास 500 एकड़ लैंड है. 500 एकड़ 500. I hardly use 100 acres, and the rest 400 is ऐसे ही पड़ा है. फिर आप लोग दोनों मेरे से आके पूछा, सर क्या सर आप ऐसा क्या करते, मतलब वो मेरा है. Who are you to come with me? सर आप यूज तो नहीं कर रहे, मुझे दे दो. नहीं दूंगा. आप लोग 6 महीना काम करेगा और अपना नाम से लिख लेगा उसको, है ना. वही किया ना लैंड टू द टिलर. तो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या बोला, नाउ वी आर पुटिंग ए सीलिंग. सीलिंग का मतलब क्या है, Alleged can have not more than 100 acre on his name. मतलब मैं अपना नाम में सिर्फ 100 एकड़ रख सकता हूँ, उसके ऊपर रहेगा गवर्नमेंट छीन लेगा. बट मैं स्मार्टली क्या करता हूँ, 100 एकड़ मेरा वाइफ के नाम पर, 100 एकड़ मेरा लड़के के नाम पर, 100 एकड़ लड़की के नाम पर, 100 एकड़ मेरा ब्रदर के नाम पर, 100 एकड़ मेरा मम्मी के नाम पर, सब ट्रांसफर कर दिया. गवर्नमेंट आके पूछेगा कि कितना एकड़ आपके नाम पे, आई विल से ओनली 100. Where are the 400? I distributed. There is. So when I'm using the word land act, okay. When I'm using the word land, is the word shape land act. I say out of 500, government says only 400 on your name. Sorry, only 100 on your name, and the rest 400 should be given to government. And government gives to the government will give it to tenant. You understand tenant now? अभी समझा who is a tenant? इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? गवर्नमेंट ने किसके ऊपर सीलिंग लगा दिया? लैंड होल्डिंग के ऊपर. समझा? Then the next one, it is consolidation. अभी ये और ये connected है. Have you heard this word consolidation any time? Have you heard this word consolidation?
Oh.
अच्छा, how about Tanish?
No, man.
Consolidation, there you go. Just look at the board. I say distribution.
Just screen share, sir.
Distribution of which land? Of surplus land. ये surplus land government के पास आ रहा है कहाँ से? यहाँ से आया ना? कितना surplus land है? 400 acres. ये तो मैं सिर्फ एक जमींदार का बोला. Are you understanding? There might be so many zamindars, so many landlords. Abhi consolidation I say very simple. First, identify who? Identify who? The poor farmers. But problem kya hai? Genuine seed. You understand the meaning about genuine?
Yes.
Who are genuine? Tell me. Genuine का मतलब क्या है?
Sir, poor.
Because if the government is giving the land, the government has to check whether that farmer is a poor farmer or not a poor farmer. Correct? So that is why we say distribution of surplus land to which farmers? Genuine poor farmers. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? Consolidation of land holding. समझा?
Yeah.
Come on, Tanish, read all the subheading जो मैंने explain किया. Under land reforms. Only read the heading, subheading, man. Tanish, read it.
Land reform
Second.
or
Second one क्या है?
yeah.
This is the second one, boy.
Reform
Tenancy reforms. Third one.
sales on land holding.
Fourth one. Pronounce kar. Consolidation. Say it again.
Consolidation.
Say it again. वो आर्या बोल रहा है. You say consolidation of
Land form.
समझा? Come on, Arya. You read all the heading looking at the book.
First one is land reform, second is tenancy.
Okay. Under land reforms ये पूरा आता है. What is first one, second one?
Land reforms, abolition of intermediary. Second one is tenancy reforms. Third one is ceiling on land holding. Fourth one is consolidation of holdings.
And the fifth one is cooperative farming. है ना? Let's say the word cooperative farming. Have you heard this word cooperative farming?
Corporate.
Corporation सुना है, but cooperative नहीं सुना है ना? Look here, let me tell you a story. You like the story?
Yes.
Good. I said this is 100 acre of land, and it belongs to a farmer called, I said X.
Okay.
He is very happy as long as he does not have two sons. So the two sons name is, one son name is Y, and other son name is Z. So as long as X is healthy, ये दोनों बोलते हैं सर पापा हम लोग फार्म ऐसे ही रखें. But when he has become old, you understand old? When he has become sick, क्या होता है इंडिया में? Division of the land. हो गया? तो अभी 100 acre पे क्या हो जाएगा? This becomes 50 acre and this becomes 50. Is 50 acre a small land? Quite a big land. It's okay, no problem. अभी X and Y will have their own 2 sons each. समझा? अभी Y का मैं बोलता हूँ ये Y1, Y2 and Y3. ये था Z1, Z2 and Z3. What has happened? The land has become smaller. I mean, imagine Z1 like this. What has happened? So, जो 100 acre था वो पूरा land क्या हो गया? Fragmented. Come on, repeat that word.
Fragment.
It's like you are bringing a full cake. Cake तो देखते फिर क्या करता है? Sir, cutting. हाँ, बस.
ये बचेगा.
So now government said, let us remove these boundaries. Let us not have these boundaries which are within. समझा मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Okay.
Let all the farmers does this farming cooperatively. You understand the meaning of cooperative?
Yes.
Government ने बोला ये boundaries हटा दो. Let all the farmers do. ये कितना एकड़ का जमीन है?
100.
100 acres.
Yeah.
You do on a cooperative method when the profit comes. I said when the profit comes, then distribute the profit. Have you समझा what is cooperative farming?
Yes.
Can they do big large farms here? Yes. Can they bring machines here? Yes.
No.
इसी को हम लोग कौन सा farming बोलते हैं? Cooperative farm. समझा? ये पहले बार इंडिया में महाराष्ट्र में इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था. शुगर केन में कोऑपरेटिव फार्मिंग चलता है. अभी शुगर केन फार्म्स में सोच लो, there are 100 farmers and each farmer is having only 1 acre. If 100 farmers come together, how many acres will be together? 100. 100. Can they do large scale farming? Yes.
No.
Sir, no one there.
अभी समझा what is cooperative farming? अभी ये problems कब solve होगा when all the farms are at one place. But India में और एक unique problem है. एक छोटा farm इधर रहेगा, दूसरा छोटा farm इधर है, और तीसरा छोटा farm इधर. Can I do cooperative farming?
No.
Why not?
Because the place is different.
Correct. इसको हम लोग economics में क्या बोलते हैं? Scattered. Someone say?
Scattered.
Scatter.
अगर scattered रहेगा तो I cannot do cooperative. मैं इधर से थोड़ी canal या bridge बनाएगा. सर इधर से उधर जाओ, उधर से इधर आओ. I cannot do.
Yes.
One place I can start cooperative farm. Is all the points clear?
Yes.
Any of the point you want me to explain again?
No.
So write down the first one. Land reforms का हो गया, उसमें A लिखो, small a. Abolition of intermediaries. And I'm giving. I'll give very small answer so that it doesn't become a very big answer for you. Abolition of intermediaries.
Yes, sir.
Now read that point, Arya.
Yes, sir.
Read that point for me.
Full.
Indian
Government took various steps of abolition intermediate and to make tillers. Sir, what is it?
Pillars.
Tillers, the owner of the land. The idea behind the step was the ownership of the permanent improvements on land. Intermediaries between the state and the actual tiller of the soil, popular known as zamindaris, were done away with. Zamindari system was abolished. Ownership rights were conferred upon those who actually cultivate the land.
Yes, now write down, I am giving it. Indian government abolished zamindari system Soon after independence, and made. Okay, they've given the word tillers. You understood the word tillers? T-I-L-L, tillers matlab kaun hai? The farmers who are working on that farm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've written here. Look here. I've written the word. Tenant के बाद में लिखा है.
Sir.
Tillers. And
Screen share, we cannot see board.
screen share तो हुआ है ना. अच्छा, camera is not correct. Wait. Just. अच्छा ऐसा है तो पहले क्यों नहीं बोला?
अरे सर आपने बोला बाद में.
हाँ, sorry. I have to switch the camera. Nothing else. This is the word tillers. And tillers were made as the owners of the land. And tillers were made as the owners of the land. Underline the word tillers and owners. And tillers were made as the owners of the land. The intermediaries, second point under the same heading. Carefully check that spelling. The intermediaries. Hyphen. Zamindars.
Yes, sir.
Were completely
Yes, sir.
completely
Yes.
removed
Yes.
from
Yes.
from the
Yes.
farmer's life. Were completely removed from the farmer's life. Next, ownership rights were given to those farmers who actually worked on it. Or who actually cultivated the land. वही sentence उधर दिया है. Who actually cultivated the land. Now go to B. What is B point? Tenancy reforms. B point is tenancy reforms.
Nice, sir.
Once zamindari was abolished,
Yes.
the marginal farmers
Yes.
Secured, the marginal farmer secured
Yes, sir.
the ownership of
Yes, sir.
ownership of the land in which they cultivated.
Yes, sir.
Second point. Second point. Slowly and steadily.
Yes, sir.
The farmers became
Yes, sir.
not only the owners but also
Yes, sir.
क्या बोलेंगे ओनर्स के साथ क्या करेंगे वो but also contributed
Yes, sir.
to the country,
Today,
to the country's agricultural growth, to the country's agricultural growth. Then C point, seeding on land holdings. In fact, I have written every point, but for you, I am also writing. So, आराम से लिखो, but समझ के लिखो. Correct? Seeding on land holdings. While you are writing, are you remembering my explanation?
Yes.
Yes, good. At least Arya says yes. Right, Arya. Sealing on land holdings. To promote equity. To promote equity in
Yes, sir.
agriculture. To promote equity on agriculture.
Yes, sir.
Government of India introduced Land Sealing Act.
Land seal.
Sealing Act.
Act मतलब लॉ को लोग ने पास किया. Land Sealing Act.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Second point, same heading. Land Sealing Act. Next one. Under this act, a farmer cannot hold excessive surplus land.
Yes.
Excessive surplus land. Excessive surplus land on his name.
On
His name.
On his name.
Sir, there.
Next point. So the surplus land, was snatched. You understand the meaning of that snatched? Taken away. The word is right here. SNATCHE. Snatched from the zamindar. Snatched from the zamindar. बस ये हो गया point.
सर
Yes.
समझो कि उसने 300 एकड़ खरीदा,
हाँ.
गवर्नमेंट ने ले लिया, बट तभी तो उसने इतना पैसा दिया ना वो लैंड का.
क्या नहीं समझा?
मतलब कि सर उसने 200 एकर्स लिया,
ठीक है.
फिर गवर्नमेंट थोड़ी दिनों के बाद गवर्नमेंट आके वो 100 एकर्स ले लिया. 100.
देखो, I just gave a rough figure. 500 acres उसके पास है, 100 और रख सकता है, 400 common lake. Are you understanding? अभी not all zamindars will be having 500 acres. Are you understanding? Some will be having 100, some will be having 200, some will be having less than 100 also. But surplus का मतलब क्या है? If you are having even 80 or 90 acres, but are you using that 80 acres?
No.
You are saying, sir, I hardly use 20 acres. Take example. Out of that 80, the 60 acres is surplus only, na?
Yes.
Instead, it is lying idle. Government will give it to a poor farmer.
Yes.
You understand? If you have done some charity work in your schools, here Red Cross Society सब आता है school में. I have done during my 8th and 9th standard. हमको ऐसा बॉक्सेस मिलता था, उसमें रेड क्रॉस सोसाइटी का नाम रहता था, and one list भी देंगे. I will go to every house, not house, I will go to every shops and tell them, sir, we have come from this school and school का आईडी भी हम लोग दिखाएंगे. ऐसा मेरा बहुत लोग बोलते थे कि कलेक्शन करके खुद ही खर्चा इवनिंग में पार्टी कर लेने का, वो नहीं करने का. Correct? So whatever money they give, they write their name, they write their signature, and then they put it in the box. समझा? Maybe after 10 days, maybe after 15 days, हमारा जो school teacher थी, she will collect the money and she will cross check. जितना उसमें लिस्ट में लिखा है, उतना ही money हमको देना है. It's like a charity. अभी you both guys are not having 1 acre, but I am keeping 100 acres but not using. समझा? So government will go from case by case, zamindar to zamindar. It is not fixed. 500 to 400 तो ले लेगा, 100 तुम रखो, ऐसा कुछ फिक्स नहीं है. वो तो मैंने आपको समझाने के लिए ऐसा बोला. Is it okay?
हाँ सर.
Okay, right up. Now next is consolidation of land holdings. ये लिखना. It is already written on the board. Consolidation of land holdings. After the strict implementation of land ceiling, there was
Yes.
What you can say? There was after the strict implementation of Land Ceiling Act, there was a favorable situation. There arose. There arose AROSE. You understand arose?
No, sir.
Arise ka past tense. You know what is arise?
Yeah.
Uska past tense. There arose a favorable situation for tenants. Second point. Land holdings of several farmers.
What? Yeah.
Next point. Land holdings of several farmers were
What?
scattered. Did I explain the word scattered?
Yes.
Yeah.
Land holdings of several farmers were scattered not comma, hyphen. It needs to be brought under. It needs to be brought under correct cultivating process. Correct cultivating process. This is known as consolidation. This is known as consolidation of land holdings
Land.
land holdings. Thereby, this is the word, thereby converting them into one large farmland. And the last point, CD, what it is? Cooperative farming. कौन सा point है वो? A, B, C, D, E है, F नहीं है. ठीक है, जो भी है. This already I have written there. Are you seeing it? Cooperative farming. Write this heading.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right below cooperative farming. This was a new step. This was a new step introduced by the government. This was a new step introduced by the government. Under this, large groups of farmers. Under this, large groups of farmers were encouraged to cultivate their farms cooperatively. Careful with the spelling, cooperatively.
Yeah.
Cultivate their farms cooperatively. Then the last line, cooperative farming, or this farming, no need to write cooperative. This farming
This
will solve the problem of. Will solve the problem of.
Yes, sir.
Land fragmentation.
Yes, sir.
And also increase the agricultural production. अभी ये पूरा point खत्म हो गया. Please read it and tell me back. Now we have point number 2, 3. How many points in your textbook, boys?
5.
Wait. Let me also see, because I have 7 points. I'm just reading it. You just check whether the heading matching. Second main point is expansion of irrigation facilities.
Yes.
Technological measures.
No.
No.
अच्छा, technological नहीं है. Agricultural subsidy policy.
No.
Wait. We can no care. Agricultural price policy. Agricultural price policy.
No.
Institutional credit. ये कौन सा टेक्स्ट बुक है तुम्हारा? हैं?
No.
Improvement in agricultural marketing.
Yes, sir.
And what is the next point then?
Sir, मैं पढ़ूं sir. Sir, first point.
First point तो हो गया ना. You tell me after improvement in agricultural marketing.
Sir, वो एकदम last point है.
हाँ, तो उसके आगे और क्या है?
credit facilities,
Ah,
use of insecticides,
it's okay, leave it.
use of.
So now you read this point thoroughly and come back to me. ये point भी बहुत है. ये पूरा points अच्छे से learn करो. Not learn, just read it and tell me.
The cooperative, na?
No need to write anything. Just read it first.
Yes, sir. That was the point.
Only the points. Only the points. Correct. Correct. Any point you have a query, please.
Sir, so rash.
Who is sleeping?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Tanish, what happened? Tired? If you are feeling tired or sleepy, go and wash your face and come. No problem. I am going to give you a break. School से लेट आया क्या?
School ready, yes, sir.
Today holiday?
Yes.
Empathy is going on, sir.
अच्छा. How many days they have given you holiday then?
5.
5 days.
Holiday.
अच्छा. Good. So you should be more energetic. The whole night you are watching TV or playing.
Play.
Sir, in our home only there is Ganpati, no? That's why.
Where did you go?
No, in our home only there is Ganpati.
अच्छा.
Does he not written?
Yeah. Sir, circulars मतलब
I didn't get you. What is the word?
turbulence.
Turbulence.
Circulars.
Surplus. Surplus मतलब extra. अभी मेरे पास अगर 500 है, I am using only 100. How much is my surplus?
400.
Oh my God. अच्छा वो पूछ लिया. अभी तक surplus में इतना बड़ा बोल रहा था और तू अभी पूछ रहा है what is surplus?
Sir, वो याद है.
अभी understood? Now understood. देखो रीड करने में एक डाउट आया. Very good. How about Tanish? Is he reading or is he sleeping?
Sir, having made no.
I'm just asking, man.
No, sir, not sleeping. confusing.
Can you, what do you find it?
Oh,
Shall we?
yes.
Put the next heading. I hope we have got 2 minutes. Instead of explaining, I'll directly give you the lines. Explain next lecture में करता हूँ, ठीक है? Put the heading. What is the second heading you said? What is the second heading?
Sir, expansion of irrigation facilities.
वो तो इधर है ही नहीं.
उसके बाद
Write on. It is there. I am giving it. Shall I?
sir, wait. Next.
Rainfall in India. Rainfall in India is irregular. You understand irregular? कभी ज़्यादा और कभी कम. Rainfall in India is irregular and uncertain. Uncertain. You know the spelling of uncertain?
Yes.
It is right here. Irregular and uncertain. ये है. Careful with the spelling, huh?
Yes.
Second point. The existing irrigation facilities and the rising demand. Existing irrigation facilities and the rising demand of Indian farmers. Rising demand of the Indian farmers brings to the expansion of irrigation facilities. Brings to the expansion of irrigation facilities. Okay, I'll meet you after the break.
Yes, sir.
Who is getting sleepy must wash your face and थोड़ा relax करके आने का.
Sir.
Okay, chalo. I'll see you exactly in how many minutes? How much time?
5:30.
Okay. So we'll talk about a little bit of Ganesh so that Tanish अभी नहीं सोए, correct है ना? Tanish, तो क्या स्पेशल है घर में गणेश उत्सव के लिए?
क्या स्पेशल है?
What is the special?
70 veg.
अच्छा, and Arya, how about you?
Nothing special.
Oh my, but holidays are you utilizing for the studies?
Yes, projects.
Oh, how much marks? 10 or 20?
10.
10 marks only. Achha. And which subjects you got the projects?
Commerce, economics, all.
Achha, all that. Okay. So let us go to the point number 3. Second point मैंने बहुत short में दे दिया, और थोड़ा सा detail बताओ, नहीं चाहिए ना?
नहीं.
I know, क्या तुरंत नहीं. The next point I am writing on the board, you tell whether it is.
Just screen share.
हाँ, रुक करता हूँ, एक मिनट, just a minute. The next point heading as per my textbook is institutional credit.
No sir.
No, sir.
Just a minute, let me do the screen share first. Is this point there in your textbook?
No.
No.
Okay. Then the next point, improvement in agricultural marketing, is it there?
No.
You can't, you tell me your points, textual points, tell me.
Sir.
Tell me your point.
Aryan.
Use of fertilizers.
And
Use high yielding variety seeds.
the next point,
Using high.
is it the same point or the next point?
Next point.
Next.
हाँ, वो तो मैं वैसे भी explain कर दूंगा. Use of HYV seeds, इतना भी याद नहीं तुम लोगों को. Next.
What is that?
No, sir.
क्या no sir, yes sir. बोलो ठीक से.
टॉपिक का नाम है यूज हाई फील्डिंग वैरायटी सीड्स.
वही है, HYV वही है, मुझे मालूम है.
फिर अडॉप्शन ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी.
हाँ, ये मेरे पास भी है. What is that? Adoption of new technology, correct?
हाँ.
Adoption of new technology. Now, what is the next point?
Use of fertilizers.
Stock fertilizers.
Use of fertilizers.
Use of fertilizer. Next.
Next point.
That's it.
Use of insecticides.
तो एक ही point करेंगे ना. Why do you make it into two? Correct? Insecticides. Sorry.
Space and next credit facilities.
What is it? What is it?
Credit facilities.
Correct. इतना ही है और भी है.
Correct.
हाँ, बोलते जा.
Improvement in agriculture marketing.
Improvement in agricultural marketing. Next.
हो गया sir.
Okay. Now you tell me out of this where you need explanation. But I read कर लो. I think up till 5 you read it. It's very simple. Improvement in agricultural marketing. Because I explain, give the notes, then also you say we don't remember. Forget. अच्छा मैं short में explain कर दूँ सबको. Okay. You understand what are fertilizers? Are they different from manures? Manures मतलब cow dung. इंडिया में सबसे पॉपुलर मैन्योर कौन सा है?
ट्रैक्टर.
काउ डंग. हम लोग गांव में जाएगा तो अलग से एक बदबू. तो सुना है, काउ डंग तो सुना है. But now what has happened? Now population has increased. So
Yes.
demand for the food has also increased. So can we do cultivation only using manures and cow dung? No. We need fertilizers. अभी fertilizer क्या होता है? We have potash, है ना? We have many other urea and many other fertilizers. ये क्या होता है? It will increase the growth of the crops quickly. जितना जल्दी crops बड़ा होगा, उतना जल्दी production ready होगा. Why? Because population is now at a very increased. Anja, why is this fellow getting up? What is he doing?
Sir, वो गाय में diet check कर रहे हैं.
Okay, now when you look at the seeds, I have to tell you how different it is from the normal seed. Correct? I mean, normal seeds generally take 6 months, for example, to grow, whereas this can grow within 3 months. 3 months ke andar ye ready ho jayega. Are you understanding? The normal seeds will require a lot of water. Sorry, here nahi hota. Production will be less. Here production will be double, है ना? Come time में production will be double. So this is what we are saying. Which seeds? High yielding variety seeds. Less time, more production. Whereas normal seeds, more time,
More production.
less production.
Yes.
अभी जैसे आप लोग को मैं बोल रहा हूँ सिर्फ 2 दिन लेक्चर रखते हैं, तुरंत में एनुअल एग्जाम देगा तो आप रेडी हो जाएगा?
नहीं.
हाँ, पूरा साल भर लेक्चर होने के बाद भी एक टेस्ट में भी रेडी नहीं होता. करेक्ट है ना? अभी सीड्स आके इंडिया में हाइब्रिड मिलता है. Have you heard of hybrid? What is the meaning of hybrid? सुना है?
हाँ, सुना तो है.
हाँ, सुना तो है, but meaning नहीं मालूम. Hybrid means very simple.
दो सीड का मिक्स.
हाँ, ठीक है. Yeah, we are not talking about dogs here. We are talking about seeds here. Tanesh, listen.
Yes.
Sir,
And the next one, we say new technology. I mean, now you tell me, in farmers, generally majority of the farmers are using bulls.
Yes.
Wooden plow. I mean, if I tell you how many Indian farmers they have a tractor of their own, very few.
very good.
Yes.
I mean, new technology means what? Whatever earlier done by man or by animals, now it will be done by machines. The next part we are going to explain green revolution only. In fact, I'll show you the video for the green revolution.
Yes.
Green revolution was the most successful program for farmers. At least you know what is green revolution? Hey, Balama.
सर उसमें ना जो भी
Under green revolution,
रहता है वो
2 states, one was Punjab, another was Haryana, and they selected a crop called wheat. They applied all the modern technology. They
Yes.
used the hybrid seeds, and automatically क्या हुआ? In less time they got double the production. So that is green revolution. आप लोग ने ये milk revolution सुना है? White revolution?
No.
At least green revolution you have heard about. Okay. Now, what does this new technology means? Now, government of India said if you follow the old technology, the production will be less. It will take more time. Now, then they said we want less time, more production. So they adopted technology: tractors, cutters, harvesters, use of HYV seeds, fertilizers. ये सब क्या है? New technology. Okay. Then the next one we say, अच्छा अभी ये तो मैंने इसी में cover कर दिया. Fertilizer increase. What are insecticides? Normally your crop is ready to cut. Correct? Suddenly the insects might eat away the entire production.
Yeah.
So they spray certain chemicals. Correct? Like in your house, if you are having too much mosquitoes, you have that liquid propellant. Have you seen?
Yes.
It's not very efficient, but then also at least it restricts the mosquitoes from biting you.
Yes.
So insecticides means it's a special chemical which will be sprayed on the crops. Now you understand when your mother brings any vegetables or any fruits from the market, she washes it thoroughly. Why? Why?
Chemicals.
उसके ऊपर क्या है? Insecticides रहेगा.
Yes.
Now when I use the word credit, I will say very simple. What is the meaning of the word credit?
Credit card.
Credit means loans. Loans for whom?
No. The farmers.
Farmers.
For what did he? For what he requires the loan?
For the seeds, fertilizer.
For buying a tractor, for buying fertilizer. अभी generally देखा है, the loans are not easily available.
Yeah.
Even if the loans are available, the rate of interest is high. The farmers can give high rate of interest.
No.
Now the farmers have started certain banks which are only for farmers, not for any other person. Where you and me cannot go, we will not get any loans. Are you
Yeah.
understanding what I'm saying? So generally, say these farmers need credit facility, that also quickly at a which rate? High rate or a lower rate? Lower rate of what?
Interest.
Interest.
Very good. So that is credit. And the last one is improvement in agricultural marketing. Now, before you and me, we do not understand what is marketing means.
Marketing means
To sell.
to sell the product in a variety.
Very good. Acha, you understand? Abhi, I say farmers are getting less profit. Farmers are getting less profits because they do not know how to market their produce. Abhi, if
Yes.
you come down to Vashi and Turbe area, we have a market called APMC. Suna hai?
Ah,
Any idea full form of APMC?
Yes.
no.
No.
What is this APMC doing? इतना तो मालूम है क्यों भी नहीं?
Yeah. And market.
Market करता क्या APMC?
So sell the product in lower rate.
Correct. I'll tell you. It is Agricultural Product Marketing Committee. Come on, repeat.
Agriculture
Product.
product
Marketing Committee.
marketing committee.
Abhi, if you have gone there anytime with your parents, the
Yeah.
agricultural product comes all over India. Correct, Anna?
Ah.
And whatever you buy it in your house nearby, which is a bit costly, here it is very cheap.
Yes.
सस्ते दाम.
ऐसा कैसा आपके दुकान में तो वो थोड़ा महंगा मिलता है और इधर सस्ता क्यों मिलता है? Because here they sell it at which price? Wholesale price. And nearby house, your house, they get it at a retail price. Right?
Yes.
Ah.
अभी क्या है? Either wholesale or retail, the product profit must go to whom? To the farmers.
Yes.
अभी या farmers don't know how to market. वो तो बेचारा farming करता है. And a intermediary will come, a middleman will come. वो बोलेगा आपको city में जाने का जरूरत नहीं. You give all your crops to me. I will sell it in the city. अभी for example, if I say Amul company, you know what is Amul?
Yes.
They used to buy the milk from the Gujarat area hardly 1 or 2 rupees per liter. 2 rupees. And here they sell it at how much rupees? 40 and 50 rupees per liter.
Yes.
अभी imagine बेचारा वो dairy farmer का कितना नुकसान होता रहेगा. He is getting only 2 rupees and the middleman is selling at a 48 or 40.
The margin is very, very big.
Correct. तो अभी गवर्नमेंट ने क्या बोला? Don't give it to a middleman. Marketing government करके देता है. If I tell you, we have something called as MSP. Have you heard about MSP?
Yes.
Oh, good boy. I'll tell you. At least उसने yes बोला वही काफी है. इसका हम लोग बोलते हैं minimum support price. Come on, repeat.
Minimum support price.
ये कौन देता है? Government. किसको देता है? To the farmer. Sometimes the price of the rice or wheat or any other crops goes below the market price. Sometimes it shoots up. Correct?
Yeah.
When it is going below the market price, farmer बोलता है कि मेरा तो 1 kg का राइस का मेरा cost price 10 rupees है और मार्केट में 11 rupees में खरीद रहा है. How much rupees he'll get profit?
1
1
rupee.
rupees.
What the government will say, you don't worry, I will buy all your rice at the rate of 15 rupees per kg. समझा? MSP इसका मतलब क्या करता है, गवर्नमेंट क्या करता है, मिनिमम सपोर्ट देगा आपको प्राइसिंग का, डोंट वरी, either the price in the market goes up or it falls down, but government will try to control the price so that किसका नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए, farmers का. Now marketing facilities are provided through this, which are established by the government. Is it okay? All the points are clear?
Yes.
And now you silently read in your notebook, sorry, in your textbook, and then come back to me. They're all leaking. By God's grace, I didn't wear any white shirt today. If not, I'll give you the explanation right now. But before to that, I'll try to show you the video of the green revolution video. है ना?
Yes, sir.
Wait करते रहो. I will get that video for you. Because the next topic is green revolution only. You should know what is that.
Wait a minute. Skin revolution. Revolution.
So read it completely and then tell me. After that only I will play the video, because then I have to give the notes also. If not, you will both will forget what is I explained. Read it first. Yes.
What are the pictures? Yes, sir. Okay, start, sir.
Complete the reading, and where you get the point doubts, you can ask me.
Yes. Sir, done, sir.
Done? Whatever I've explained, everything is there or something new?
No, sir.
Something new?
There is banks in.
What is that? Okay. Now, when you look at that green revolution, just understand that. Here I will show you the video, you will understand perfectly. Now, the next main heading of this chapter is green revolution. In fact, green revolution is very, very important for you to understand. Just listen, both of you. Don't write anything. Carefully listen, you'll understand.
Yes, sir.
As the word is saying green revolution, Indian government introduced something new. What is that new? They wanted to test the technology which was brought from foreign country. There was a scientist called Norman Borlaug. Come on, say.
Sir.
Norman Borlaug. Say. He was from Mexico. Have you heard about a country called Mexico?
Yes.
He was a person who developed this technology. In India, we have a person called MS Swaminathan. He is regarded the father of green revolution in India. देखो आपके volume का photo भी दिया रहेगा and देखो in fact this is the picture. Am I showing it right? Look at here. Are you seeing this? Boys, both of you look here.
सर हमको सिर्फ YouTube दिख रहा है.
क्या दिख रहा है?
सिर्फ YouTube दिख रहा है.
अच्छा share screen. अच्छा, at least you can see me. Is it in one corner of the video?
Sir, 1 minute.
He's doing something.
Sir, we can see.
Look here. He is the MS Swaminathan. He is from India, and there is one person called Norman Borlaug. He is from Mexico. So, what is this green revolution? If you ask me, I'll tell you.
Yes, sir. What is green revolution?
Very good. Tanish ne pucha. Under green revolution, government of India told we will do an experiment. You understand an experiment?
Yes.
Experiment was using wheat, and they selected the two states, Punjab and Haryana. You understand Punjab and Haryana?
Yes.
Are they agriculturally very rich? Yes, they are very rich with farming. Now that they said, under green revolution, they will bring all modern technology. They will use the hybrid seeds. They will give more water. They will bring more and more fertilizers. And then they wait for the time. So, जब ये experiment किया, they could double or 3 times the normal wheat. समझा? और वो wheat की quality भी Mexico से ही लाया. अभी वो video में दिखाएगा. So when the minister presented the bill in the parliament, many people did not understand. बोला हम नहीं करेंगे, ये नहीं चाहिए. So what did the minister do? 2 person है, एक स्वामीनाथन है, एक और एक भी है. I don't know the minister name. उसने क्या किया? उसका खुद का एक 5 एकड़ का जमीन था. उसने बोला अच्छा ठीक है. He put this Mexico wheat in his own farm. And one people understood keep in less time more production. Then only it was introduced. समझा अभी green revolution? Shall I play that video? You will listen carefully.
Yes.
Okay. Understand that ये answer बहुत easy हो जाता है. Wherever you don't understand, you can ask me to stop the video so that I can explain. फिर आपको green revolution का answer भी दे दूँगा और वो भी दे दूँगा. Just a minute, I play the video.
Okay. Sir,
famines.
Yeah, sir.
India had been importing wheat under the US Public Law 480 to meet the food shortage. The grain was channeled directly into the food distribution system, giving rise to the phrase ship to mouth. Beginning with 3.1 million tons in 1956, the PL 480 imports shot up to 10 million tons in 1966. But US President Lyndon Johnson was threatening to cut wheat supplies under PL 480. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan convinced Subramaniam that the
So do we have a picture of this person to the left?
Yes.
He was the scientist, and this person was the minister, agricultural minister. Samjha? And let's see what is it.
solution to the food crisis lay in cultivating high-yield grains which would increase their output. During the 1950s and early 1960s, the government strategy was focused on expanding the area under cultivation, but the yield was abysmally low. Swaminathan had studied his issue deeply. He had been so deeply impacted by the terrible Bengal famine of 1943 that he had dropped out of medical school in Kerala to study agricultural science so that he could contribute to food security. For over a decade, Swaminathan had focused on developing genetically engineered seeds. While working at the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Swaminathan collaborated with American agronomist Norman Borlaug. Borlaug, who won the Nobel Prize in
Did you have the name of the person in your book? Norman?
No.
Come on, repeat the name.
No, I.S. Norman.
Borlaug. Okay.
Doctor.
Mexico. The person.
in 1970 had developed Mexican variety of hybrid seeds of wheat that dramatically increased output. Swaminathan realized that the Mexican variety of seeds suited Indian conditions. While Subramaniam was convinced by Swaminathan's formula, he faced political opposition. So he converted the lawn of his 5-acre plot where he lived in New Delhi into a demonstration farm to show that the HYV seeds could solve chronic food shortages. The government imported HYV seeds which were used on demonstration farms in wheat-growing areas of Punjab.
Look here, but people did not accept what the minister was saying. So उसने अपना खुद के farm में ये cultivation करके दिखाया, समझा? What was his name?
MS Swaminathan.
Was it the minister? वो minister था. You
No,
will
sir.
hear the video properly. Listen carefully now. Who is this person? Is he like Swaminathan?
No.
No.
Listen now.
Swaminathan's formula, he faced political opposition. So he converted the lawn of his 5-acre Swaminathan's formula. While Subramaniam was convinced by Swaminathan,
हाँ अभी उधर वॉल्यूम में लिखो.
The spelling.
Subramaniam, S-U-B-R-A.
S-U-B.
SUB.
Wait, I'll write it on the board. You both will do the. Dr. Subramaniam, is it? I'm writing it on the board. Just copy it down. Wait, huh?
Sir.
Sir.
Yes, I know. I have kept the video off because. Yeah, he was a minister, huh? And the other person was the. Abhi dikh raha video? Picture? Dr. Subramaniam. उधर टेक्स्ट बुक में लिख दो डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम एंड एम एस स्वामीनाथन. ओके
Yes, sir. You can start.
Okay, now look at the video.
formula, he faced political opposition. So he converted the lawn of his 5-acre plot where he lived in New Delhi into a demonstration farm to show that the HYV seeds could solve chronic food shortages. The government imported HYV seeds which were used on demonstration farms in wheat growing areas of Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh. These areas had large land holdings, better irrigation facilities, and farmers could afford costly hybrid seeds and fertilizers. They became the cradle for the Green Revolution. In 1966 and 67, the first year of the Green Revolution, 2.4 million hectares of land of a total of 130 million hectares were reserved for cultivation of HYV wheat. The experiment was so successful that the total area under HYV cultivation increased to 15 million hectares in 1970 to 71. The total food grain production in 1971 was 108 million tons, an increase of over 40% from 1965 to 66. India terminated the embarrassing PL480 imports in 1971 as the nation had achieved food self-sufficiency.
Hey, you understand the meaning about self-sufficiency?
Yes.
क्या मतलब है सेल्फ सफिशिएंसी का? What is the meaning? Before the Green Revolution, listen. Before the Green Revolution, India was unable to meet the demand for the population. अभी सेल्फ सफिशिएंसी का मतलब क्या? एटलीस्ट हमारा जो पॉपुलेशन है उनको तो हम लोग फीड करेगा, समझा?
हाँ.
So all thanks to which revolution?
हाँ.
Which revolution? Green Revolution.
Yes.
समझा? चलो.
हाँ.
Make the video and very quickly we'll start the answer.
Sir, can I go to washroom?
अभी ये वीडियो देख ले. अच्छा जा कर जा. अभी ये ब्रेक में क्या कर रहा था? Meantime, I will have a word with what's his name? Arya.
Yes, sir.
Your school portions and our UP portions are going at the same rate, or are we behind?
Sir, we are behind.
Okay. You said the chapters are the same chapters, ना? अभी जो चल रहा है वही chapter उधर भी हो रहा है. Correct है?
Yes, sir. Line से चल रहा है अभी.
अच्छा. But they are in which chapter?
Ma'am, अभी एक chapter में.
They are in which chapter now?
Secondary.
क्या बोल रहा है?
Secondary ये है ना. Secondary sector start होने वाला है मैम.
Start होने वाला है. अच्छा. But we are also the same place ना. We are not far behind.
Yes, sir.
What is the big man? वो भी कुछ भी.
Sir, जैसे हमने सेकंड टर्म स्टार्ट किया ना मैम ने डायरेक्ट 10 चैप्टर पढ़ा है.
अच्छा. But as you are saying that secondary is not there in your school exam, na? What is this?
नहीं secondary होने वाला है सर. Syllabus
primary is there. What do you say?
सर मैं ये बताओ.
बोलना.
कौन से चैप्टर आने वाले हैं?
हाँ भी इसके आगे बोलो.
उसके आगे सर 8 चैप्टर और 9 चैप्टर और 10.
ओके.
और पहले का 7th और 6th का आ रहा है. थर्ड सेकंड.
व्हाट एल्स?
बस इतना ही आ रहा है
बस.
हाँ.
So we are going to finish this chapter. ये होने के बाद और कितना बाकी रहेगा?
और 3 चैप्टर.
What is that?
Secondary sectors, tertiary sector और poverty in India.
अच्छा. ठीक है ना, मतलब and your exams is at what date it is?
Next month starting.
Next month तो आ गया. This is the month of September. This is today we are in 2nd September.
Exam second.
हाँ,
Second term का.
October से 6 October.
अक्टूबर में है तब तक तो आराम से फिनिश करेगा ना मैं.
6 October से चल रहे.
He is saying it is in the month of October. Till that time I can easily finish. I don't think there will be a real trouble, is it?
Sir.
So both are in the same school.
Yes, sir.
So if you are saying by October, I will not only finish, I will be ahead of your school also, your school push. Correct, Anna?
हाँ,
But then don't worry. I thought it is coming month, maybe like 10 or 5 or 6 or 7, then it will step out.
No, sir.
Because we meet once in a week only, na?
yes,
Okay. So shall I play that video, the rest of the video?
yes,
You understood what is that video saying at least?
Yes,
yes.
And shall I ask you what was the scientist's name?
sir. Which?
Normal,
Technology background.
Dr. Normal Borland.
Very good. He was from which country?
Mexico.
Very good. In India, who was the scientist?
Swami.
Very good. MS Swaminathan. You have to say. Come on, say.
Swamina.
And who was the minister who brought this program?
Doctors. Subramanian.
Subramanian. Written there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just only few minutes. The videos are there. Just continue to watch it. So you understood, they said the first part of the green revolution was a successful one. So after that we started using in what? In different crops. The rice में use किया, फिर हम लोग उसे तो फिर pulses में use किया सब जगह. Let's see one more video. This video is good.
Yes.
They are explaining. Understand this. What is green revolution?
Sir, वीडियो ही नहीं दिख रही हम लोग को.
Video sharing किया मैंने.
Answers, okay? And in this video we are going to find the answer for all these questions, and the questions are: what is green revolution, and who started green revolution, and why did green revolution started, and where did green revolution started, and how did green revolution started, and many more questions. Okay, let's start our first question, that is, what is green revolution? Green revolution means introduction of high yielding varieties by using pesticides and fertilizers to increase
Write
the
down in a notebook. Green revolution. ये वाले answer copy करो.
हाँ, sir.
You write green revolution. The explanation of that points you write using your textbook. Will do. Or you want me to give?
No, sir.
Okay, write down what is green revolution. Just don't write the answer. I'm going to add some words to this.
Yes.
You write GR. The answer में GR लिखो. A new technology. A new technology which would increase. A new technology which will increase the production of rice and wheat. A new technology which would increase the production of rice and wheat by making use of. अभी यहाँ से start करो. High yielding varieties of seeds. High yielding, making use of high yielding varieties of seeds.
Yes.
Then use of pesticides and better management techniques. High yielding varieties of seed. अगर varieties लिख दिया तो seed लिखो, don't write seeds.
Certain.
Done?
Yes. I mentioned that. Certain. Complete. Yeah.
Certain.
Just understand now, don't worry. And Bakilika and to better management techniques. Use of pesticides and better management. ये two ने लिखने का. Are you seeing? And better management techniques. Listen.
Crop protection. And this is the main motto of Green Revolution. And who introduced Green Revolution in India?
We have a photograph of this person.
Yes.
Exactly. The aim was to increase and he is Mr. M.S. Swaminathan. देखो नॉर्मन बोरलॉग का भी नाम लिखा है. A larger initiative by Norman Borlaug. इंडिया में इन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया, but in Mexico he started.
Green Revolution in India was introduced by M.S. Swaminathan. But in the world, Green Revolution was introduced by Norman Borlaug. And Norman Borlaug is the father of Green Revolution. And how did Green Revolution started? Yes, the Green Revolution started in 1965 with the first.
First statement लिख लो. Second point लिखो. GR started in 1965. GR started in 1965. The first introduction of HYV seeds. First उतना ही लिखना. Are you understanding? GR first started in 1965. Why Tanish is not writing? Arya, write down.
Sir, 1965 के बाद.
The first introduction with the first introduction of HYV seeds लिखो. अभी एक बार इसका full form मालूम है तो मत लिखना. HYV seeds. उसका next point लिखना. The end result of GR was. End result of GR was मत लिखना. The end result of GR come on. It made India self-sufficient in food grains. It made India self-sufficient in food grains. You understand the meaning of word self-sufficient? Self-sufficient मतलब हम लोग बाहर से लेने का जरूरत नहीं है. हम लोग अपना खुद का
खुद का यूज करेंगे.
That's yes बोलो.
उसके आगे सर.
बस just don't write anything, just listen.
Introduction of high yielding variety seeds in Indian agriculture. The end result of the Green Revolution was to make India self-sufficient when it came to food grains. Where did Green Revolution started? Green Revolution in India was first introduced in Punjab in the late 1960s as a part of a.
Really, the next point. GR in India was first introduced in Punjab in late 1960. उतना ही लिखना है.
Certain.
In late 1960 वहां तक लिखा.
दिया.
Handwriting has to be clean. अगर handwriting अगर खराब दिखा. When I'm coming on Sunday for the lecture, Sunday नहीं ना, Monday ना. If your handwriting is bad, then I will tear the pages into two.
Yes.
Okay, now listen.
Development program issued by international donor agencies and the government of India. And our next question, what did the Green Revolution do? Green Revolution mainly do is to increase the crop production. That is, the main motto of Green Revolution is increase the crop production and to make India self-reliant. And what are the main features of Green Revolution? And here are the 5 main features of Green Revolution. And the first one is introduction of high yielding variety of seeds, and then increasing use of fertilizers and pesticides, and then increased applications of fertilizers in order to enhance agricultural productivity. And our fourth one is use of latest agricultural machinery like tractors, seed drills, and threshers and harvesters, etc. And our fifth feature is use of disease resistance varieties so that production will enhance. And these are the main features of green revolution. Okay, every coin has two sides, right? So even green revolution is more beneficial, but it is also having some drawbacks. So let us discuss the both pros and cons of green revolution. Okay, let's start with pros. And grows faster, crops will grow faster, and multiple yielding. If we use the normal seeds, then it will create some amount of crop, right? If we use the high yielding variety of seeds, then it will gives you 3 or 4 times greater than the crop produced by the traditional method.
You understand the meaning of the pros and cons?
Yes.
What are pros means?
Growing faster.
Okay, positive point. Cons means negative. Negative points. देखो मैं explain करता हूँ. The crops will grow faster. Multiple yields. Multiple मतलब एक साल में हम लोग 3 से 4 बार हम लोग produce कर सकते हैं. Increase the quality of food. You understand the meaning of quality?
Yes.
Increase the tolerance to disease, pest and weeds. मतलब ये जो seed से जो crop ready होता है, it can withstand पानी के बगैर भी थोड़ा दिन रुकेगा, ऐसा नहीं कि तुरंत मर जाएगा, समझा? Next is reduction in biodiversity. What is biodiversity? मतलब जितना भी अपने पास variety तो seeds का भी अपने पास एक ही seed रहेगा जिसमें सारा qualities रहेगा. Got it? What are negatives? Expensive seeds. मतलब ये normal seeds से महंगा है. Some require more fertilizers, water and pesticides. अभी मैं बोलता हूँ जो तेरा normal crop है 3 महीने में ready होगा, ये crop सिर्फ 1 ही महीने में ready हो जाएगा. Don't you think उसका requirement भी उतना ही ज़्यादा रहेगा? Then increase of class disparities. What is this? कौन बताएगा? Class disparities का मतलब क्या है? हाँ? ये जो green revolution था, was it for rich farmers or was it for poor farmers? Do you think poor farmers के पास इतना पैसा है? HYV seeds खरीदेगा वो? नहीं. तो मतलब already rich and poor के बीच में बहुत सारा gap था money wise. अभी ये green revolution benefited whom? The rich farmers or the poor farmers? Rich farmers. तो class का जो बीच में जो division था वो और बढ़ गया. कौन सा class के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? Rich and poor farmers. अभी समझा? Then health impacts from increased pesticides and fertilizers. Health का मतलब क्या है? Since your rice and wheat is coming with more fertilizer and more pesticide, इसका side effects हो सकता है. क्यों हो सकता है side effect?
क्योंकि इसमें pesticide बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Yes. अभी I'm just leaving it this to you. तो एक काम करो, green revolution exactly लिखो, pros में bracket में लिखो positive points, cons में लिखो negative points and copy down this. Come on. Pros के बाद में क्या लिखने का? Positives. Cons के negative. और you can get advantage, disadvantage also. While writing, you have any points, please ask me.
Yes. Sir, weeds क्या होता है?
What's it? What's it?
Weeds.
Weeds मतलब जो
and increase quality of food. Okay, it all.
समझा?
क्या सर?
मेन अभी राइस या बीज का क्रॉप है, उसके साथ ग्रासेस है या छोटा मोटा प्लांट्स जैसे कुछ अनवांटेड प्लांट्स को हम वीड्स बोलते हैं. वीड्स
Okay.
वो अनवांटेड प्लांट्स को क्यों निकालना है? बिकॉज वो रहेगा तो क्या करेगा, वो भी पानी पिएगा, वो भी फर्टिलाइजर यूज करेगा, समझा?
सर इसको पराली बोलते हैं ना?
नहीं, पराली एक्ट वो कटा हुआ बात है, वो लास्ट में, समझा?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you agriculture once.
Also enhances the quality and increase tolerance to disease.
You're computer writing, tell me that. मैं तो play कर रहा हूँ.
We're done.
All points, both of you?
Sir, wait.
Okay.
Sir, हो गया.
Confirm? Okay, listen to this.
Pests and weeds and reduction of biodiversity. And yes, discuss about the cons of green revolution. It is expensive and some require more fertilizers, water and pesticides, and increase of class disparities and health impacts from increased pesticides and fertilizers. And these are all about green revolution. And
So at least both of you got a good idea what is green revolution? Oi.
Yes.
Both of you got a good idea what is green revolution?
Meaning.
Really?
समझ में आया?
Samjha, how is green revolution look? Let me show you one more.
Yes.
25 minutes left.
And this is again the story of green revolution on India.
Sir, 5:30, 6:30 तक.
Wait. हाँ मैंने शेयर भी चेक करता हूँ जा.
6:30 तक.
Are you able to see the share screen?
Yes.
Let's see the production of the green the wheat or rice.
India was met with a big problem. There was unprecedented from 1960 to 1987. The output increased by a magnanimous amount, but how exactly did this happen? To understand this, you would have to go all the way back to 1960 when the agricultural crisis began. In 1960, India was met with a big problem. There was unprecedented unemployment, inactive farms, dwindling agricultural produce, and the possibility of mass hunger and starvation. To resolve this speeding crisis, the Indian Minister of Agriculture at the time invited the renowned environmentalist Norman Borlaug to India. Borlaug, with the support of the Rockefeller Foundation and the Mexican government, supplied 100 kgs of seeds to Delhi, Punjab, Uttaranchal, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Punjab was selected by the Indian government to be the first site for the crops because of its reliable water supply and history of agricultural success.
Now, despite these efforts, India was experiencing minor famines and starvation in almost all parts of the country, which was limited by the US shipping over a fifth of its wheat production to India as aid. Soon after this, India adopted the IRA. What is the IRA?
That's never seen before in the rice sector. It was based upon a single gene, and that single gene changed the plant architecture.
We were able to get up to 10 metric tons per hectare. The average yield in the Philippines was 1.2 metric tons at the time we went in there. And that started the revolution in rice.
The IR8 is a semi-dwarf variety of rice.
Hey, this IR8, IR9, मतलब IR का full form क्या रहेगा? Any idea?
आया. No, sir.
Now we do not know industrial revolution or agricultural revolution. Okay, just listen what they are saying. Huh?
which was developed by the International Rice Research
Oh,
Foundation.
International
Findings
Rice
indicate
Association.
that the IR8 yielded 5 tons of rice per hectare with no fertilizer and 10
Look here. They said one is traditional rice and other is which rice? IRRI is the international.
tons of rice per hectare with no fertilizer.
Look here. Traditional rice and what is the IR8? Look at the production. Kitna time hua? 1,
And
2,
10
3, 4 times it is higher. Correct?
Yes.
under optimal conditions.
which include water, irrigation facilities, fertilizers, and pesticides.
This was 10 times the yield of traditional rice, and therefore it was popularly dubbed as the miracle rice.
The stagnation in agriculture was permanently broken by the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution led to the rise of high production of food grains, resulting from the usage of high yield variety seeds.
The availability of irrigation facilities, fertilizers, and pesticides led to the success of the Green Revolution in the more affluent states such as Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. The first phase was a period of high criticism of leaders as many of the poorer states suffered. However, in the second phase of the Green Revolution, high yielding varieties spread to a large number of states, and it benefited.
Okay, what is it? Our timing is up till 6:20 or 6:15 it is.
Sir, what?
And the lecture ends at what time?
Sir,
6:20.
Sir, English class is there, no? Sir, they are coming early.
They have a class. Just a minute. Just a minute. They have you don't have a lecture now after this.
Yes, we have
Yes.
lecture.
English.
Which lecture?
English.
English.
Yes.
Yeah,
What time it is?
6:30.
6:30.
Say can't come.
And is over.
Okay, so today you have to write these points from your home. How many points it is written? 3 to 7 points. Look here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have already started with Green Revolution. You understood?
Yes.
Green Revolution, at least you understood looking at the video, which are the two important persons in India.
Yes.
Who are the persons?
And
And the minister, doctor, इधर है Dr. Subramaniam.
Dr. Subramaniam.
MS Swaminathan is the scientist who introduced it in India, and he was a minister, agriculture minister. And in international, who was a person who brought this technology?
Norman Borlaug.
Borlaug. You have to say Dr. Norman Borlaug. He was from which country?
Mexico.
That's enough. Take care. I'll see you in my next lecture. Please revise and come. Don't come without revising. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Chalo, bye then. Take care.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye. Take care.